You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, Baxter Springs Fire Department unveils its new fire station over the weekend. KOAM's Mitch Adams was there to capture their excitement.
Also, car lovers gather in Pittsburgh for the Track the Guts Cars and Coffee.
Take a look at that. It is not that dark outside, thankfully. See, there it is. It's bright, it's sunny, and we've got the opportunity for some pop-up storms, and we could get some strong storms as well tonight into tomorrow. We'll have a look at your forecast coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Waters, just after 7 o'clock on this Monday, July the 7th, 2025. Like we didn't know what year it was. I'm going to throw it in there every so
It's hard to believe that it's already July of 2025.
We are now closer to 2050 than we are to the year 2000.
Oh my goodness.
We can end the show
now
with that.
That makes me feel
I feel even older, so yeah, man, I'm telling you. But something old has been replaced with something new in Baxter Springs.
A local fire department unveils its new station to the public Saturday morning.
KOAM's Mitch Adams shares how the building fulfills many community needs.
No, I just want to thank all the guys for the last 3 weeks. Most of these guys have been working up till midnight, working their full-time job, and then coming here and working to get this station up to where we're at today. So if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here today.
For nearly 100 years, the Baxter Springs Fire Department has operated out of the same station. The old station has been officially decommissioned, with operations moved to their $3.4 million facility.
So we started about 5 years ago. Started with Chief Gunner Wixon, who's now Assistant Chief. We started reaching out, finding grants and everything else that we could get. Luckily, Tim Schallenberger was able to work with us and help secure $2 million from the state of Kansas, and Jake LaTurner's office was able to secure $1 million for us. So we were able to build this station debt-free to the citizens of Baxter.
The new facility provides more space, improved systems, and upgrades for the department.
So we ran out of space in this station. We are working out of the bays in one room. This new station provides all of our apparatuses and everything to be parked inside. We have a spacious training room where we can actually host training, and along with being able to extend that out into the bays. We put air hawk systems in to keep the carbon monoxide levels down in the stations, and provide a lot safer environment for all of our firefighters there.
The new location will be ideal for the city of Baxter Springs compared to the former station, in turn helping to provide revitalized services for the city.
It's going to be beautiful sitting on Military and Air Bay, being able to drive by and see it. We have a lot of kids that come up there that will get to enjoy it. We'll be in a better spot of town to serve all the citizens.
In Baxter Springs, Kansas, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
One of the new additions in the station is a decon room for firefighters to clean up after being exposed to harsh chemicals.
It's certainly important out there because, I mean, especially you get to those commercial industrial fires, even in some cases, some residential fires. You don't know exactly what you're going to be up against, and it's important to be able to decon afterwards.
Great for them, yeah.
And speaking of at least a shower, we do have some shower chances, some thunderstorm chances. Today, pretty isolated. Tomorrow, a little more widespread out there. We're going to start though, of course, with our look outside downtown Pittsburgh from 4th and Broadway. There it is, looking back to the south and east. We've got what we consider partly cloudy skies, and you can see there are some clouds out there. That's why it's partly cloudy. MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line in Joplin, also looking pretty good this morning. Oh yes, today. I was wondering what that was. I almost forgot, and I think we kind of forgot all around. You can't get into the 15th Street Walmart from 15th Street starting today, starting now. That's why those cones are in that left turn lane. It's just a reminder, it's part of that project. I covered it back on the news side of things. They're gonna finish out East 15th here. Curbs, access, controlled access to the businesses instead of it being a free-for-all like some kind of I don't know, demolition derby. It's gonna be controlled. But reminder, you can't get into the 15th Street Walmart or any of the stores on 15th Street. You got to use Mark Ward or come in on 17th. All right, end of that story. We still have some isolated showers, parts of Benton County starting to creep into parts of McDonald County. These flared up early this morning, They will continue to fizzle out and roll off to the east. They are not our primary concern. We do have some also patchy fog, parts of southern Cherokee County, back into Craig County and Ottawa County out there. So again, low beams, not your high beams. For tonight, after midnight, we do not have any tornado or hail risk areas highlighted, but we do have this isolated wind risk in our northwestern counties. That's because of some storms well off to our northwest tonight that may try and skirt us a little later tonight here in our area. For today, though, isolated pop-up storms coming into the afternoon hours, kind of like what we've seen the last few days. Most of us will be dry. Nothing too crazy expected with that. Quick look at temperatures because we forgot about that whole road closure thing. We've got upper 60s. Most of us now starting to cruise up into the low 70s out there. Number of 72s right now. We into the upper 70s by 9, mid 80s by noon, upper 80s for our highs. We've got those pop-up storm chances through the afternoon and evening. As I mentioned, though, we've got some strong storm chances tonight. We've got more storm chances tomorrow. Details here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, those traveling on Rouse Street in Pittsburgh may want to look for some detours. Starting today at 8 a.m., South Rouse near Randall Drive will be closed as work will be done to improve the railroad crossing. Commuters are encouraged to seek alternate routes and to be aware of workers in the work zone. If residents have any questions, they are encouraged to call the City of Pittsburgh Public Utilities Department. The road work is expected to be done on Friday, July 11th. Well, Drag the Gut was back in Pittsburgh yesterday with their second Cars and Coffee event of the season. 15 cars showed up and showed off yesterday just outside Applebee's in Pittsburgh. Cooler weather made it the perfect opportunity to show off cars that some people have been working on for years.
My favorite part is being able to build up a car to what you want, what you like, and just something you work really hard for and be able to show it off to other people and meet new friends. Just really show off what you've worked really hard for over the last couple years.
There will be a Drag the Gut cruise night on July 12th. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Rescuers are racing against time as they work to find survivors in Central Texas where fierce floods devastated some communities. Fox's Eben Brown has more.
Dozens are still missing across central Texas following catastrophic floods that tore through parts of the region. At the center of the devastation is Camp Mystic near the Guadalupe River, where several girls remain unaccounted for. One survivor tells her experience on Friday when fast-moving waters rushed into the cabins near her.
I put on my name tag because I was scared that if water's coming out next to our other cabins, that our cabin might be next. In my head, I was saying, if something does happen and I do get swept away, at least I'll have my name on my body.
Locals in the Texas Hill Country sift through debris trying to salvage what they can from their flood-ravaged homes on Saturday.
This is the highest anybody that we know has ever witnessed the water in this valley.
In the flood's wake, mud-filled houses, overturned cars, and broken trees are left. Some residents say they never would have expected what was coming.
It was pitch black, but hearing people scream, kids screaming, asking for help.
But locals are trying to look ahead to recovery efforts as they face devastating losses.
What now? I lost my only revenue. I have employees they need a paycheck. They need to work to get a paycheck.
Major donations are pouring into Texas from celebrities and corporations. The Dallas Cowboys and Houston Texans united with the NFL Foundation to send $1.5 million to communities affected by the flood. Eben Brown, Fox News.
And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, David Hensley from the Shriners Children's Hospital shares how area children can benefit from complimentary screenings. And later, an umpire is grateful for a second chance after the quick-thinking doctor saves his life. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Well, families with children who require care often struggle to find the support they need. This morning, David Hensley from the Shriners organization is here to discuss how a free screening can open the door to orthopedic care. Welcome, David. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. So for those who might not know or need a refresher, talk to me about Shriners Children's Hospital.
Well, Shriners Children's Hospital is in 3 countries, basically all North America, as well as we do have several outreach clinics throughout the United States. We provide orthopedic, burn care, cleft lip and palate, and spinal cord injury research.
Absolutely, and you're providing a unique opportunity for families in Southeast Kansas to get pediatric orthopedic screenings. Talk to me about who this is for and what you want families to take out of this opportunity.
Our system usually takes patients up to age 18, and in some instances that care can continue until they're 21 years of age. Our screening clinic is, we have some providers that are going to be there, and they're going to do an assessment on the child, their notes and whatnot from what they deduce from the interview will be faxed on to the St. Louis Shriners Children's, and they'll go from there. They'll assess the notes, and if they're, able to help the children, then sure, they'll set an appointment up for them.
Absolutely. Talk to me about when specifically this event is.
It'll be July 21st, 2 weeks from today, from 9 o'clock till noon at our Shrine Center at 110 West 5th Street in Pittsburgh, Kansas.
Wonderful. And through your involvement over the years, how have you seen outreaches like this and screenings help kids and families in the area?
Well, as we all are aware, with health costs going skyrocketing up, Shriners does not charge for their work.
Yes.
So it's no out of pocket for the patient or their family. Like our temple in Pittsburgh, we provide transportation to and from the hospital. We'll pay for the lodging to get them up there. So
it's a big help.
It's a great big help.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, David, so much for being with us this morning.
You,
we'll, of course, have all of that information later on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:17 on this Monday morning, and we are taking a look at the fog tracker. We did have some dense fog stretching back through Jasper County, which is not common for it to just be isolated to Jasper County, but it was. But it's cleared up. However, still some slight reduced visibilities, parts of Ottawa County, southern Cherokee, southeastern Labette, and northeastern Craig counties. Again, not significant reductions, but still enough that you want to slow down. Low beams, not your high beams. Fog lights if you've got them. Give yourself some distance between you and the car ahead of you. All right, so shower activity. We had a thunderstorm. It flared up into Berry County. This is it. Tracking to the east. We've got these little spotty showers from Benton County now into southeastern McDonald County. Eventually they'll roll into Berry County. Not much expected out of any of them, but something that we discussed earlier this morning, if you're with us on the KOAM side, is these also weren't on the forecast data for this morning. These are pop-up storms. Some of them, as you can see, got a little bigger than most pop-up storms, but they didn't show up. So it was interesting to see. Nothing crazy, but we do have increasing storm chances as we head into our Tuesday. Severe threat overnight tonight. No hail or tornado risk areas highlighted, which is great, but we do have this isolated wind risk in our northwestern counties, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if one of the later updates maybe extends it just a bit further to the east, and I'm going to show you why on the future track. Now, between here and there, isolated pop-up storms, as has really been the trend the last few days. We'll have those pop up, they'll flare up, they'll be random, they'll be isolated. Most of us will remain dry. It'll be after midnight that we actually start to see a complex of thunderstorms, and it's going to develop earlier than that, out well northwest of us, where there's a level 3 out of 5 severe risk. By the time they get here, they'll just be kind of sweeping into our northern counties. So that's why our severe risk, or the strong storm risk really tonight, is very conditional, very isolated, as we get just a few of these lingering close to sunrise tomorrow morning, maybe north of Stockton, around Appleton City, north of Nevada. Then late morning, early afternoon on Tuesday, we get the opportunity for additional shower and thunderstorm development. Now, right now, data suggests initial development should be along and south of the I-44 corridor. And here you can see it taking off after about 10, 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. By noon, we've got thunderstorms, scattered showers, couple of rumbles of thunder outside of that. Then by about, say 1, 2 o'clock, we get another batch of showers and thunderstorms, this time developing across southeast Kansas, scattered storms ahead of it into the Missouri side of things. This is by 3. By 5, we've got a broken line almost in a backward C shape from near Yates Center back toward Fort Scott, down through Pittsburgh, back toward Baxter Springs, Galena, Miami, Grove, back toward Veneta, Newata, and Bartlesville. And then that will eventually push off to the east. Few lingering storms north of Stockton. All of those storms, though, could be strong to low-grade severe across the entire region. You can see it's a level 1 out of 5, so nothing crazy at this point. But damaging wind gusts do look to be the primary concern with any of the stronger storms we may see tomorrow. So, of course, we'll be keeping an eye on that for you. Mid-70s by 8, partly cloudy skies. Low 80s by 11 o'clock this morning. Our highs today looking to be at or a hair below normal. Upper 80s, then we get into the upper 80s again, maybe some low 90s tomorrow with those thunderstorms. Warming up, more pop-up storms on Wednesday, low 90s into the weekend, and a few more pop-up storms this weekend as well. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more right after this. Well, umpires often feel the wrath from people watching from the stands, but this was something different.
A doctor who was seated in the bleachers got onto the field and helped resuscitate an ump who had just suffered a heart attack. Nicole Comstock reports.
I feel like I got hit with a baseball bat and I lost the fight.
Jeff Heiser is still in a lot of pain as he stares at the spot on this Little League field where his heart stopped.
I think everybody gets to revisit the spot that they die.
It was caught on camera in Ladera Heights, the moment the umpire toppled over near home plate. He was having a heart attack, and within seconds, as his colleagues and kids surrounded him, he had no pulse. So they yelled out to the people in the bleachers for help.
And basically someone said, "Is there a doctor?" And I sat there for a while and I was just like, well...
Well, Jen Poole was a doctor with Cedars-Sinai, but not an ER doctor. So resuscitating strangers wasn't exactly her specialty.
The adrenaline's going, your heart's going, you're second guessing whether or not you're doing the right thing, but you just know you have to help.
Here she is in the green sweater and blue hat, running to Jeff on the field and getting to work.
I was doing CPR probably for 7 to 10 minutes. Which is a really long time.
And then my joke to her was she's not a very big lady and to get through all of this.
But she did get through and got his heart going again multiple times. Watching the video back, Jeff says he was in awe.
She immediately, kind of a badass, she was pick the legs up, start cutting this, and you can see her start giving directives and to acknowledge what's happening and then be the person that runs towards the fire, towards the problem is rare in today's day and age.
Jeff tells us he died and came back to life because of this off-duty doctor taking the lead.
That's very deep and that's a lot. So I would hope that I just kept him going and that he didn't die.
Paramedics eventually had to use a defibrillator on Jeff. Both he and Dr. Poole want people to know how important it is to know CPR and for community spaces to have defibrillators.
So that if things go wrong, that we're able to support the people that are injured or hurt.
At the end of the day, Jeff thinks the baseball gods just weren't done with him yet.
I have, some reason, some teaching still to pass on, my love and my passion for the game to continue to, pass on to the next generation is, I would assume, why I'm still here.
Now, someone in the U.S. suffers a heart attack every 40 seconds, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. So something you've definitely got to watch out for, know the warning signs, and also know how to help some of those as best you can.
Right. Talk about the right place at the right time.
Yeah,
Great
absolutely.
to see.
Coming up, we'll see how the summer heat can pose danger to those that deal with asthma attacks.
And speaking of summer heat, temperatures still technically a little below average out there, but we do have some thunderstorm chances. Details when we come back.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:29. I'm Elise Snowy. The 4th of July may be over, but many were still celebrating over the weekend. Yesterday, the Royal Heights neighborhood in Joplin ended the weekend with their own 4th of July celebration. The free event, sponsored by multiple area ministries, started at 5:30 yesterday evening at Humphrey Park. The event provided food, music, and of course, fireworks.
Sharing the love of Jesus with people. That's what it's about. That's what we're here for. We're here to just welcome people, love on people, get to know them, and that's what my favorite part is.
The celebration went on, rain or shine. And celebrations for the 4th of July continued on Saturday in Pineville. City members got together for their America celebration. It consisted of an apple pie contest as well as activities and games for the kids and free food for all attendees.
To have the property for the vendors to come and set up, I get an opportunity to have fellowship with them. It's kind of interesting because then once customers get here, then you get to interact with them and serve them. It's such a fun thing.
The prize for the apple pie contest was bragging rights. Also taking place in McDonald County Saturday evening was the Jane Fireworks Show. This year's second annual fireworks extravaganza was ongoing fun and events before fireworks started later that night, including drawing and raffles for multiple prizes.
So some of the fundraisers will go to the Bradley Skaggs Foundation. So essentially what that does is anyone that's in high school that wants to enter into civil service like police, fire, EMS, nursing, some of that money will be donated to them to help pay for their college to get certified or licensed for one of those agencies.
The money made from the raffles goes towards the White Rock Community Booster Club and the Bradley Skaggs Foundation. Let's head over now to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've had a few scattered showers and thunderstorms out there, mainly in our very far southern counties. Our camera downtown Pittsburgh looking pretty good so far this afternoon. Let's try that again this morning. It's not that late yet. It's only 7:32. MoDOT camera 20th and range line looking good as well. Here's that shower. Now this one came up out of Benton County and has worked its way into southeastern McDonald County and is slowly beginning to push into Berry County. So again, it's one of those things. It is not strong or severe by any means, but it's just hanging on out there, and it's one of those little storms that it's a pop-up storm like some of the others that we saw earlier this morning. They just didn't show up on the model data this morning, but here it is, northeast of Bella Vista, southwest of Cassville, slowly tracking east-northeast. So probably eventually getting into Cassville, maybe staying just north of Seligman out there. After it moves on and is done, that's going to be it for now. It won't be until this afternoon that we have another opportunity for some pop-up storms. We do have some patchy fog around Ottawa County, southern Cherokee, parts of Labette, and Craig counties out there as well. So low beams, not your high beams. Overnight tonight, well, this updated early. We now have a much more widespread isolated wind risk, so I'll get some new information on that. This usually updates at 8 a.m., so that's why I'm a little surprised to see that. So we'll dive into that. I'll see what the changes are, but we are looking at pop-up storms later this afternoon out there. Not expecting anything too crazy, but I'll wonder, and I'll find out for you if that update is maybe the pop-up storms might have that chance, because sometimes they can become low-grade severe. So I'll check on it for you. Quick look at temperatures. We've got upper 60s. We're starting to see a lot more low 70s out there. A lot of 72s now and 71s. Temperatures eventually climbing. Upper 70s near 80 by 9, mid 80s by noon, upper 80s for our highs. Pop-up storms for the afternoon and evening, and then maybe some additional storms overnight tonight. We'll have another full look at your forecast. I'll find out what the latest update is on those strong storms for tonight. And of course, we'll talk about the upcoming week beyond the storms here in just a few minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. And don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone, free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. The KOAM Skywatch weather app. Well, besides heat exhaustion and heat stroke, doctors say sizzling temperatures can also increase the risk for asthma symptoms. Fox News' Ted Lindner takes a closer look at why this happens and how to stay safe this season.
It's not always so fun in the sun. as doctors continue to warn how hot and humid temperatures can spark a host of medical issues this season, especially asthma.
Asthma is a disease of inflammation in the airway tubes of the lung. Heat can worsen that inflammation and make airways more sensitive.
This is partly because heat can alter air quality.
Hot weather in particular can trap ozone and small particles of pollution lower in the atmosphere, leading to worse air quality. Worse air quality is a common trigger for asthma symptoms. Heat can also extend pollen season.
Symptoms of an asthma attack can include
wheezing or whistling in your breath, cough, shortness of breath, and chest tightness.
Because air quality and temperature can be more easily controlled inside a building, Dr. Megan Conroy of The Ohio State University recommends,
if you have asthma and there's extreme heat, consider ways that you can alter your schedule to stay indoors. If you do need to go outside, consider monitoring air quality by the Air Quality Index.
To help control asthma in the face of extreme heat, Dr. Conroy says it's critical for people to be correctly taking their inhaled medications.
It's important that anyone with asthma have an anti-inflammatory inhaler, whether that be your maintenance inhaler, your rescue inhaler, or having both to be an anti-inflammatory inhaler, specifically meaning that it includes an inhaled steroid, that you are not only treating the symptoms of asthma, but also treating the cause.
Staying properly hydrated should also be a top priority,
because dehydration can increase the thickness of mucus in the airways and further worsen asthma symptoms.
Ted Lindner, Fox News.
That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. A Minnesota couple is reunited with their daughter through a pendant. Well, in Consumer Watch, while supporters are praising tax breaks and cuts to what they call wasteful spending, critics fear slashes to clean energy technologies will raise costs for many consumers. Fox News' Chris DeMeo reports.
There could be no better birthday present for America than the phenomenal victory we achieved.
President Donald Trump praising Republicans in Congress for passing a massive tax and spending cuts package on Thursday. The president taking to the stage at a rally in Iowa to tout the tax breaks, new money for national defense and immigration, and more.
But this is a declaration of independence from a really national decline.
But what President Trump calls the big, beautiful bill is also expected to slash billions in spending across the clean energy sector, cutting tax credits for clean energy technologies like wind and solar.
So we won't see as many of those infrastructure projects being built in states that could really benefit from them. We will see several industries lose jobs. We're already seeing manufacturing plants that are closing, for example, that we're building new batteries.
The bill will also end a 30% tax credit for rooftop residential solar projects by the end of this year. These efforts once helped save homeowners money when purchasing expensive solar installations.
That significant upfront cost is obviously a huge barrier to most homeowners in the country. And so as a result, those federal tax incentives won't be available to them.
The bill also supports fossil fuel production, which climate activists say will worsen the impacts of human-caused climate change.
They're telling you what's going to happen in 100 years. The oceans are going to rise 1/4 of an inch and everyone's going to be wiped out. No, you're going to have more oceanfront property.
President Trump has called clean energy tax credits a scam meant to use taxpayers' subsidies to help fund the agendas of climate activists. Chris DeMeo, Fox News.
And that's a look at our top consumer stories this morning. Let's take a look now at the market prices before the opening bell.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:43 now on this Monday morning. We still have this one shower out here that's into parts now of eastern McDonald County, western Berry County. So just outside northeast of Bella Vista, staying right now at least north of Seligman, southwest of Cassville. Cassville, you'll probably get in on some of this. At Seligman, if it holds its southern edge, you might get in on some of that as well. That's it for at least the time being, and then we'll see additional pop-up storm development as we head into the afternoon. So here's what we're looking at. Remember, told you this is our day one outlook that we've talked about. It updates typically at 8 a.m. Sometimes it updates early, sometimes it updates late. This morning it updated very early and took that isolated wind risk from our northwestern counties and went boom with it across the entire region. Now the good news is it didn't increase. It's still a level 1 out of 5 risk. It just spread over a wider area. And I told you I'd get the answers. And I've got the answers for you into the future track. Nothing's changed here. Pop-up storms still building in this afternoon. However, some new information that's come in, the Storm Prediction Center, they're the ones who put out these outlooks, say that some of these pop-up storms could develop in an environment that would be favorable for them to possibly get into what they call wet microbursts, or basically just a situation where gusty winds, 60, maybe 65 miles an hour, could be an issue. So that's why they expanded that wind risk, is with an approaching cold front later this afternoon, early evening, some of the pop-up storms we get could become strong to low-grade severe with gusty winds. Now, we still have the chance for some storms from a totally unrelated complex off to our northwest, clipping our northern counties overnight tonight, and some of those could also contain some gusty winds. Then we go into Tuesday by mid to late morning. Initial thunderstorm development is expected at this time along and south of I-44, and these storms could be strong, low-grade severe, with wind as the primary concern once again. In fact, we have the wind risk level 1 out of 5 across the entire region for Tuesday. Then we'll have scattered showers and storms behind that. By about 2, 3 o'clock, we get additional thunderstorms that could be strong, potentially severe. Gusty winds again, the primary concern, developing through Kansas. Scattered storms ahead of that into southwest Missouri. A broken line, at least at this point on Future Track, kind of a backwards C here from Yates Center back toward Fort Scott, down toward Grove, back through Veneta and over to Bartlesville, with these being strong, potentially severe as well. And same even with this guy. If this storm holds up and lives through right here into parts of our area, then we're talking maybe just north of Stockton, around Appleton City. More strong storms, possibly low-grade severe storms, but again, damaging winds as the primary concern. So we have our level 1 out of 5 risk today across most of the area. Tomorrow, it's across all of the area, and then we could get an isolated pop-up storm or two for our Wednesday. All right, otherwise, looking pretty good so far this morning. Partly cloudy skies, mid-70s by 8, low 80s by 11. We are looking at highs today into the upper 80s, and some of us still a few degrees below average, couple of degrees at least. Upper 80s again tomorrow, better storm chances. Pop-up storms Wednesday, low 90s, and some pop-up storms possible this weekend. That is a check of your forecast. We will be back with more right after this.
Well, 4 years ago, a Minnesota couple lost a pendant containing their daughter's ashes at a store. They were heartbroken and thought they would never see it again.
Then the unthinkable happened, and it's all thanks to the sharp eyes and actions of a group of employees at that very store. Rhea Kutwana spoke to the couple about what it means to have a piece of their daughter back.
Out of all the words you can live by,
live like Leah.
These 3 are the guiding light for Tom and Kathy Hemish.
Slow down.
I know.
After losing their only child, 35-year-old Leah, to an aggressive cancer.
She died of cancer back in 2019, diagnosed with it, and 6 weeks later she passed.
Well, here it is. She lived her life to the fullest, and we should all live by that.
Soon after her daughter's passing,
it's our birthstones, mine, Tom's, and Leah's.
Kathy made sure Leah would always be with her.
And then her ashes are in each of the sides here.
This pendant, carrying some of Leah's ashes and engraved with her birth date on the back, always staying close by. Until one day, 4 years ago, the pendant disappeared as Kathy was shopping at this Cub in Rosemount. They searched the store, the parking lot.
We looked in the house, we looked in the car.
And even posted on this Rosemount neighbor's Facebook page.
I mean, it hurt.
Yeah.
But, you know, what do? You have to just move on.
Moving on, about a year later, Tom and Kathy made a new pendant, nearly identical to the one they'd lost.
Live like Leah, engraved on the back.
But 4 years later,
4 years and a month, it's like, who would ever imagine something would show up?
Mm-hmm.
Tom and Kathy thought was impossible became a reality.
I was speechless. I'm like, I couldn't even wrap my head around it, because it just, I thought it was gone forever. I just could not even imagine that it was here.
A Cub employee doing a deep clean under a refrigerated section in the produce aisle found the pendant, took it to the store manager, who posted about it on the same neighborhood Facebook page. And from there, a stranger in the group reached out to Tom, saying she remembers his post 4 years ago in search of the special necklace.
I don't think they really understood.
Yeah.
You know what it meant for us to find it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
A perfect example, her parents say, of what it means to live like Leah, simply doing good in any way.
We just are very thankful for the people that found it and did what they did. So
to reunite us with
with
her,
to put us back with her, yeah.
In a statement, the store manager says she's glad they were able to reunite the cherished memento to the couple.
That's certainly incredible. And after all those years, for it
4
to still
years.
be there in the store
Incredible.
and in good shape,
In great
too,
shape.
you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
That's just absolutely amazing. We do have some thunderstorm chances for us today. A quick reminder, we do have a level 1 out of 5 risk for damaging wind gusts as a possibility initially with some pop-up storms this afternoon. Some of them could be strong to low-grade severe. Then we'll have additional storms, especially into our northern counties overnight tonight. Quick look at that future track. So again, into the afternoon, we start to get those pop-up storms. And as I mentioned, some of these could be strong, low-grade severe with gusty winds as the primary concern. Overnight, we get a few that try and clip some of our northern counties. They could bring some gusty winds with them as well. And then we have that same level 1 out of 5 risk across virtually the entire area tomorrow. Again for damaging wind gusts, and we're looking at different rounds of storms. They'll be scattered through the day, but I think ultimately nearly all of us will see some kind of rain tomorrow. Initially along and south of I-44 by late morning, early afternoon. That's the first batch of showers and storms, leaving scattered storms on the Missouri side. By about 2 o'clock tomorrow, additional thunderstorms, some strong, potentially severe with those gusty winds develop across Kansas. We get this broken line circling through Kansas, continues to push into Missouri. By 7, we've got maybe a couple of storms up around the Stockton area. And then we'll clear out with maybe just a couple of pop-up storms for us on our Wednesday. So here's that look. We have that level 1 out of 5 today, level 1 out of 5 tomorrow across the region. For this morning, though, partly cloudy skies, mid-70s by 8, low 80s by 11. Well, another look at your forecast and the news you need to know right after this.
This is your Wake Up Recap for July 7th. The top stories for you as you start your day. The Baxter Springs Fire Department unveiled its new station to the public Saturday morning. The $3.4 million facility offers more space and includes improved systems and upgrades for the department. Now, one of the significant additions to the station is a decontamination room designed for firefighters to clean up after being exposed to hazardous chemicals. The new location is ideal for providing services to the community. And work crews in Texas began the long task of removing piles of debris after historic flash floods left at least 81 people dead. The flood struck after heavy rains early on July 4th triggered a sudden surge on the Guadalupe River. The storm caused widespread flooding elsewhere, including in Center Point, 55 miles northwest of San Antonio, where search and rescue operations continued Sunday as cleanup got underway. That's a check of today's top headlines. The Wake Up Recap for July 7th.
Out the door today, we have got the possibility, partly cloudy skies initially. It's a new routine. It throws you off. We'll be in the mid-70s by 8, low 80s by noon. Highs today going into the upper 80s, so many of us below average. Pop-up storm chances as we head into the afternoon. Some of those could be strong, low-grade severe, with damaging winds as the primary concern. Then we get a break. Overnight, additional storms, mainly in our far northern counties. Same situation. Could be strong, low-grade severe with damaging winds. Tomorrow, starting by about, let's say 10, 11 o'clock, more thunderstorm chances build in across the region. They'll be scattered from about, say, 11 a.m. through maybe 8 p.m. tomorrow, and some of those could be strong, low-grade severe with damaging winds as the primary concern as well.
All right, well, tens of thousands of revelers packed the main square in Pamplona, northern Spain yesterday to celebrate the traditional Chupinazo firework blast that marks the start of the San Fermin Bull Riding Festival. As the rocket that starts the official party was fired off, many doused each other with red or sparkling wine.
The highlight of the controversial 9-day festival is the early morning Enceros, or bull runs, starting on Monday when thousands of brave or foolhardy souls sprint to avoid 6 bulls charging along a winding cobblestone route to the city's bull ring. I know there have been some concerns about that in the past, but still quite a festival.
Yeah,
that's going to do it for us now. We're back with more at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.